All right, here we go. I'm a man with a white shirt, and I'm making a game. That game is called the Godkiller. My name's Eric, by the way. It's very important I identify myself. Hey, so it's a weird time with the game. It doesn't feel the same. It's like the serious getting down to business time for the game, and I say that after having spent 2 years on this thing, because my aim is not to enjoy myself making the game, though I do. My aim is to get the thing released and to have it be a proper product that people can play, enjoy, and it's not. Somebody says it's a hobby in front of me. I say, yeah, it's a hobby. I secretly hate them because I know it's not a hobby. It is a fucking passion. It's me, okay? I'm not getting paid for it yet, but it's a goddamn mission. All right. So, So I'm trying to do the hard things first at this stage, and I'll show you what I've recently worked on. Okay. Recent progress at the start of the stream. That's what I do. And then I move on to actually doing work, making more progress. Okay. So this took me a couple days, couple sessions, couple evenings after I got done with the day job. I'm not all the way done with this feature. I did have the epiphany that I should not try too hard to make it like a general purpose thing that's going to be in a lot of places in the game, because that will slow things down beyond what they need to be. They'll make it go slower. Okay. So there's this text that's on the ground. This is like one of the very first levels of the game. It's the second level of the game. It's the first level where there's dialogue. Okay, as soon as you go south, there's going to be more dialogue. There was a little bit of dialogue at the start. I'm actually going to remove it so I can be a purist on this. There's this text down here. It says subtitles. I'm guessing that's going to be pretty irresistible for the player when they start out, walk around. They're going to go, huh. And they'll step on it. And then that little thing will happen, and then the next part is what I get to today in this session, which is a screen pops up like a dialogue, and it will say, this game has been designed to be enjoyed without subtitles, but we respect the preference and sometimes necessity of using them. 2 options: enable subtitles, leave disabled. I might play that with a little bit. I might figure out a way to point them a little bit closer to leave disabled, make this language a little more positive sounding. Because, it's like I really want to subtly push the player to just leaving those subtitles off. Just please. I might add like a sentence on the end. Do you want subtitles? Nah. Or yes. Okay, then we save the preference, and then there's one little message that says, you may change this later in settings if you like. That's it. So it's a nudge. It's a nudge towards what I think is going to be the better experience, but I'm not so amazingly arrogant. So cocksure of myself. That's a funny word. Kind of cocksure. I'm not so cocksure about the whole thing that I'm just gonna make the decision for them. If they really want the subtitles, who knows? They're deaf. They don't have headphones and they're playing at Starbucks. So what? Let them do their subtitles. I don't have to be such a insistent cocksure asshole. A cocksure cockhead. I don't know why people are so bothered by swear words. The same person will not be bothered by all kinds of worse things. Well, at least in my mind. But we all have our different values. Anyways, I think I can still say cockshare and get away with it. Stupid things amuse me. Okay, so I'm gonna get to work. That was the demo. Short little demo. Moving on, getting this done. I do want to move on to some other things after this. The hard things. I gotta do the hard things first. Because I will get so sick and tired of this game. I know how it goes. It's like running a marathon. It's the last third of the marathon that fucks with your head. Okay, so thing I was kind of playing with in my head was different effects that get passed back, and I was trying to make a general purpose meta event. I don't think I need that. I think that's gold plating, old software engineering term, where you just do more than you need to do for the sake of clever architecture or a heavy invoice sent to a client. Yeah, gold plating. I don't want to gold plate. Do want to leave myself open with my choices. I could extend it later, but I don't need to build out that extension to start with. So let's do something like number 2. I don't need this action drop down to start, but that won't hurt anything. Okay, I'll leave that in. It says show dialogue effect. I'll even make it simpler than this. Show subtitles dialogue effect. Okay. It'll be a meta event, and meta events are events that go outside of the game. So, or outside of the level, you could say. They don't act on things inside of the level or what you can see inside of the level. They kind of step outside that world. That's why they're meta. So I've got only one other meta event. It's called load next level. And you can kind of see why that's a meta event, because you have to tell something. The game that's running inside the level has to send a signal to exit out of that level and go to someplace else, a new level, right? So that's why that's a meta event. This is going to be a meta event, show subtitles dialogue, because showing a modal dialogue will pause the game. And there's code that is there and just pauses everything, and it works great, but it does go outside of the game. So that's why it has to be a meta event. Okay. And I just decided, instead of having a level controller do all kinds of tricky things where it makes text, it makes the floor text disappear programmatically inside of the level specific logic, I will just have floor text always disappear when you step on it. I can change it later. If I have to generalize it to do something else, I can do that. So this will send that meta event, which I don't think needs much of anything in it. It doesn't need any data. Let's have main object call modal dialogue manager s show subtitles dialogue. Okay, I thought of a way to improve this nudge a little bit. So, would you like to adjust the subtitles in other settings now? You say yes or no. I think I could even make this a show yes/no dialogue. Okay. So there. If they want to, then we just send them, if they say yes, I just open up the settings screen. Let them fiddle around with stuff in there. Just maybe I can, okay. I think this might be the way to do it. So I already have some code that will show yes/no dialogue. Okay, if they say yes, take them to the settings screen. I could make this simpler. And this, I don't know. It sounds a little too like I'm proud of myself or something. So this game has been designed to be enjoyed without subtitles, and they are disabled by default. There, I think this is closing in on it. I think that might be it right there. Okay. And then if I do that, then I don't need to also have this extra. You may change this later in settings if you like. I don't need it. I really don't need it. I'll send them to the settings screen. They can look at everything there. And I have a more powerful nudge here because players want to play, and I'm offering them a chance to adjust settings, which sounds a lot less fun than just continuing to play. So maybe that's a better nudge. Okay, this is much simpler than all this bullshit I was messing around with up above. Taking that out. This is going to be what I do. Okay, for text discovery. The message ID is useful. Okay, let's see. Public enum step. Let's see. Touch action. And I'll just make two options for now. I'll say none. show subtitles dialogue. I think I was gonna go with all caps for those. Okay. And this can be public, touch, action, touch, action. Okay. That's in the wrong place. No, it's not. Well, I could put this in floor text piece. I kind of like that better. Okay, let's put that over there. Alright, we'll come back over to the floor text piece. Let's say you get a touch action. Oops. By the way, this is a nice alternative to writing a comment. So if I was not using assertions, I probably would write a little thing here, like just an explanation. You know, like the action must be showing the subtitles dialogue. Okay, then later on, that may no longer be true. And then the comment needs updating. This is better. It just says, okay, here's what I think is true. And when it becomes false, I gotta fix something. I gotta fix the assertion, or I gotta fix whatever caused the assertion to be false. Okay. So here's where I would add the meta effect, the new one. Let me see, what would I call it? Show subtitles dialogue effect. Okay, so let's make the class first. This one does it. Okay, so if I do, it has to derive from a fact, but there's kind of nothing to it though. Let me see what I did for load next level. Huh. I guess I'll follow the pattern. Because otherwise I have no idea how this would get initialized in a way that makes sense. So let's follow the pattern. This, I guess, is just to tell me that there's nothing that has to be done there. That has been considered. But that will actually never get called. Okay, so what's... Oh, I gotta update adder as well. Vortex adder, okay. I gotta admit, there's a fair amount of kind of boilerplate glue code in here. It's not great. But it's not bad either. Okay, so start visible. No, not that one. Let's see. Alright, so that passes that back, then gotta go to main object. Let's see, is show just for the moment, let's try this. I can come back and refine this. Okay, and we'll say, oh, no, I already added this thing here where I can change OK and cancel around to be different things. Good. All right, so this might have everything I need in it. What is the signature for closed dialog callback? Let's just close dialog. Yeah, just show it to me. Button type. Okay. Boy. Who's got okay. If selected button okay, that might do it. Let's see, show OK cancel dialog. Now go take this text that I slaved over and put it in there. Okay, let's even shorten it up. Just this is going to be, I don't need to do this. Shorter is better. This game was designed to be enjoyed without subtitles. Which are disabled by default. I just mentioned that it's subtitles that we're talking about, so I can further shorten it. Okay. Okay, what's the thing you're complaining about? I think I can make this static. Let's see how that works. Cool. Maybe this shouldn't be static. But on the other hand, let's check and see if it's actually needed to be non-static. Yeah, it does need to be non-static. So, all right, static goes away. There's about a 31% chance this will work the first time if it compiles. Something didn't like it. I think it maybe replayed the mid-level save. I think that's what happened. I see a null reference exception. I thought of another problem that I'd want to not be a problem. Anyways, let's go look at the console and make sure. Oh, okay. This is just, I changed source code while the game was playing. That's all it was. Okay. Pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, something didn't work. Something did not work. I know what it was. Actually, something worked exactly the way it should because I forgot to tell it to do something different. Okay, so if I go to that guy there, the touch action should be show subtitles dialog. Although this guy didn't animate and go away, so let's add that in, I guess. Nah, that's gold plating if I do that. Okay. Okay, it didn't work. Okay. Any errors? No, just this one, which is not one I care about. Okay, I meant to set some breakpoints. Oh, did I remember to? No, I didn't animate an event. Okay. effects, add new, show subtitles dialogue effect. This. That. So there's a nice thing about this, which is because I'm passing the same piece on both these effects, they queue up, and by default, the second one will not occur until the first one's complete. So for each, it's taking the transform of each game object and saying, perform one effect on it at a time. Chain them together. So I should get the animation and then the dialogue. But that's if everything goes as I planned it out. %82 chance it works. Now I'm going to take it down. 82% chance it shows the dialogue. 12% chance it goes through the full set of the full flow successfully without any issues, going to settings, etc. Okay. Okay, I might add a little delay on the effect so you get a chance to see it. And in fact, I can see that it got paused. So the thing I just said would happen did not happen. I know why. I know why. Because I passed off the animation to another class to figure out like what should happen and everything. There's an easy way to make sure that it works as expected. Okay, let me first try no. No, let's do the harder one. Let's do yes. Goes right to it. Power sneeze. It's not bad. Okay. Getting through this in record time. I'm gonna have to pick something else to work on afterwards. Okay, so Okay, so this will keep this effect blocking the second one from being performed, which brings the dialogue up. So we should be able to get a chance to see the animation, then bam, dialogue. Okay, let's try that. Except that there's a warning here that's telling me it's not going to work very well. So I will immediately be stopping it. I don't even want to see the error. It'll just irritate me. Is initialized equals true. Now it's a good warning that the compiler came up with. Hey. All right. Clear. Okay. And then go. Nice. It's defaulting to no. That's good. That's it. You've been warned. The problem is that there is no voiceover dialogue yet, so we're going to need the subtitles for a while. Okay, so the first thing I set out to do, which I thought might take the whole session, is done. And I gotta say my brain sure cleared up between yesterday and today. Like I was close to making some sort of expensive decisions yesterday. I'm kind of glad I just recognized I was a little tired and just stopped. So I'm thinking about something while I'm screwing around. Let's restore the level. So I took a screenshot. Oh man, it just went away so fast. How do I get to it? Where do they keep them? Desktop? Yeah, that's probably it. That is it. Oh, nice. Okay. Let's open this in Photoshop. I'm going to do a little bit of design here. Okay, let's just get the screen by itself. So I wrote code and it works to show M's face right above her. Which is kind of neat, you know, in some ways. I mean, I'll go ahead and bring it up so I can sort of show you what it looks like. Bring the face so it's visible. I think I gotta hit play and show it over there. Okay. So the idea with this is that, you know, when M talks, the head would kind of pop up above her and you'd actually see the lips move and everything. I still kind of like that. The question is, like, is it going to be correct for all the different cases that come up? So if you're busy solving some level stuff, and your character's talking while you're trying to manipulate things on a level, it seems like this could get annoying real fast. I mean, there's some things I could do, though. So I do think there's a lot of strength in having the head pop right above the character that's talking. I do think I need an ability to detach it. So, like, if somebody's talking, they're not even on the screen, I think I want their head to be somewhere that you can kind of see that they're talking. The God character is tricky because he's just hands. All right. So let me think about different use cases to consider. This, by the way, done. That's done. There's other stuff I could do with subtitles in this session too. But I feel like I've got some design work to do also. And if I try too hard to figure out all the stuff with subtitles before I'm solidified my design, then I'll be in other kinds of trouble. Okay. Let me see also. Hmm. One thing is like maybe I'm just really used to the game, but it doesn't bother me much to see her head up. I think I really should consider that I'm very used to the game, and I know, like, for example, this stairway goes off in this direction. Let me try something. I wonder how hard it would be to make this selectively translucent. She's not talking all the time too. That's one thing. Is like this can get turned on and off. Okay. Let me just take a look at the code and see like if it's easy to make it translucent. Face player. Oh, this wasn't working. I don't know why. Okay, draw a texture. Graphics, draw a texture. maybe I should just look at the docs first. This is interesting. It's got four different values. The last one might be alpha. All right, so all this stuff. Okay, let's try it. It works, but because I've got multiple pieces to the whole thing, the opacity is not great. I mean, it looks kind of like someone with a skin disease. Someone with the same thing Michael Jackson had. That's what it looks like. I'm also going to need to disable this or put it under the layers of other stuff when the modal comes up, because this is just drawn on top of everything. Okay, I could do something like maybe draw the whole texture together into like a separate intermediate texture and then draw that texture onto the screen with alpha, and then we wouldn't see all the parts with weird colors and stuff. Anyways, I'm just almost certain I'll be able to get like an okay alpha effect. So let's stay in design mode. Let's not go programming everything. Yank that back out. that's one I actually kind of like. Do it the opposite way. Busy areas. So if that's what we did, there could be an algorithm boy, this would be a tricky algorithm perhaps. Like if you were looking at this screen, which areas would you say are really great for those faces to be in? Let's see. Why don't we just do it the human way to begin with? Oh, man. Why am I... New layer, come on. My Photoshop skills are atrophying. Or another way to look at it, they keep on changing the interface inside of Photoshop and confusing me. How do I just fucking create a new layer? It's pretty sure there used to be just like a little icon you click on. It would say new layer. There's filters. Filters, these are locks. Yeah, I do not know why they have to keep on changing Photoshop. Here it is. I do not know if they changed Photoshop or it was just my ignorance and rustiness that made it so I couldn't see what the hell was going on. But anyways, so we got this layer, and I actually maybe don't even want the layer. Let's do some squares. So I would say like this area is pretty good. This area is pretty good. I am noticing a pattern in my selections. Fill red. Capacity 10, okay, or 20, okay. The pattern is, why can you not just do the same thing again and again? Edges. If there's a space where it doesn't have any edges, I feel like it's more safe. I could do something like run the outline shader twice and have it render to a texture, and the texture texture would could be a pre-processing thing. Because the calculations for this are not trivial. But if you were to look at like all the places where I've got these black lines, they're generated by the outline shader. Any place that doesn't have a line going through it is a candidate for putting a face there. Okay, let me think about some different algorithms. Okay, imagine this algorithm. There's a bunch of slots on the screen, and each one could maybe have a face in it, maybe. And we'll say that a slot on the screen can have a face if there's no outlines drawn through it. So if I took that algorithm, what would that produce as a result? Let's go to the grid and slices, and okay, that may be a good starting point. Let's turn on the grid, show the grid. Okay, so following that logic, I will just kind of block out anything that doesn't work. This reminds me a little bit of those CAPTCHA tasks. Why can I not get snap to? Come on. Snap to grids. Okay. So there's a line there. There is a line there. These are places I don't want to show a face. One here. One here. Okay. Oh, and then this one would go. So it's very binary. I think there needs to be something a little more like it's scoring. And the nice thing about this is I really can do these calculations in a pre-processing way and store 1 for each square that's traversable to by the player. In a binary way like this, if I had 2 characters talking, heads would go here, 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 here. I do see it looks like the start of a little outline there, so if I was going to be fair, I'd do that too. Alright. There's another way of making this much simpler, which is you just put the heads on the edges. You've got 1 slot here, 1 slot here. They kind of fill up like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that. Or you could assign characters to slots based on visually where they're at. So what that would do is sort of narrow your field of vision when a lot of people are talking. But you really need just the middle part of the screen anyways. So if I did that, let's go grab some other art so I can pull it in. Let's see, what is it here? No. Yeah, let's just grab from here. Okay. Must remember not to save this. Dang it. Ugh. There we go. That might work. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it looks so much better than with that draw texture stuff. Okay, so if we did that, then it'd be like, she's up here. I think if we have them positioned like that, it almost demands that I do like a 3/4 faces at maybe a not quite a full profile, but 3/4 in between the two. Kind of like I got from Bettina, this other artist I worked with. Let me see if I've got some of those. Why am I not seeing it? It was... Well, I can go try some of these other ones. Yeah, like this. Anyways, so you got your faces out like that. And you'll end up needing like lines or something that go out to whoever's talking. What the hell? Line stroke. Fucking hell. So out of practice with alright, be something like that. I already kind of dislike it. Yeah, I feel like that's gonna look shitty. just don't like the idea of having all kinds of abstract lines all over the place. Let's get rid of that. All right. You know, maybe the first thing I had was actually the best idea. Maybe I should trust myself a little bit more. So there are some problems, like if you are standing right next to somebody else, the heads are going to look weird, like on top of each other. Let me add that. Okay. Okay, also the pre-processing. Red herring doesn't take into account movement of objects like blocks that changes during play. Alright. The thing about heads being close to each other, that's not so bad because you can usually move away from the other face a bit. Like you don't have to stand right next to the other character. I think I've seen games too, like multiplayer games where a bunch of people had avatars and it would look kind of crazy when they're all standing next to each other and people dealt with it pretty easily. When you have control over where you're positioned, it's not that big of a deal to just move out of the way of whatever is bothering you. Now there are some levels where I'd like to have a lot of talking going on while the player is sort of working. I think I can level design around it though. There could also be a mode of M where if I know that she's going to be next to a whole bunch of stuff she needs to work on, but she's talking, that I could either have her head show as translucent, or I could make a stylized limited version of it, like maybe it just shows her mouth. Here's everything with subtitles. I discussed this a little bit on the forum today. There's another game that's like this one called Drod. So I can find some examples of subtitles in Drod. Here we go. These are tiny. These are tiny subtitles. But the type of game it is, you're looking at all kinds of small pieces of information on the screen. You're already kind of focused in at that depth. It's not like you're playing Fortnite or BioShock or something where it's all you were there, in your face type, stuff. It's more like you're looking over it all. You're focusing on details already. It's just not that big a deal. They have some smaller text that appears close to a character if we need it. It's like I think this is the right design choice for Drud. Let me see if I can find some more examples of the subtitle text of this style. This website, it's a little bit dated. We're worried about people's screens not being big enough to show a giant 1024 by 768. Massive image. Worried about people's bandwidth. This is a very late 90s website. That's when this got made. Alright, but like I said, this game is supposed to depart from subtitles a bit in the first place. So, if I show subtitles, it's really a nod, an accommodation to the people that just really want subtitles. So if I'm going to do that, I might as well use conventional choices in giving them their subtitles. Like the same choices that I'll call them like checklist choices. Like there's these articles and videos and stuff, and they say, if you're going to do subtitles, do this, 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 and this. Might as well give them that, because the same kind of person that's going to want to sort of buck against my suggestion is going to want things in the conventional way. So I think subtitles, they just stay down at the bottom center. I add some improvements to them, like a slight delay between when one disappears and the next appears, like a visual gap. I put the subtitle warning in the previous room so somebody can turn it off if they want. I'll maybe increase the size of the font just a little bit. Put like a translucent dark box behind it so they are even more clear. Restrict the color choices on it, like I might go between 2 or 3 tops, different colors. Put name of character for the first time that a character speaks in a scene, and then use the alternating color as they talk to each other. Set the max width for the characters in each line to be something like 30 or 40 tops. Maybe 30 on average, 40 tops. Break up the phrases nicely so that they're conceptual. Also, having smaller phrases is good for, if somebody wants the subtitles on, then it doesn't spoil as much of the voice delivery. So if somebody says, "What I forgot to tell you is, we're all going to die," you say, "What I forgot to tell you is," that's one subtitle, and then, "We're all going to die," second subtitle. So if you have a small font and you show both of them together, then it ruins the suspense, stuff like that. So yeah, subtitles on the bottom. Faces over the top of the player or character. God is a special case though, because he's not a small, he's not a thing that has a face. And you can see him in his entirety and clearly all the time. So I may omit any kind of face for God. Although if I do something there, I might throw a mouth in there. Let me see how that would look. I suspect it would look horrible, honestly. Just throw it on there real quick, though. I think I've got some already that I could use. Oh, here, let's just take one of these. Okay. There we go. Put it like right in the middle of them, maybe. I don't know what all this junk is that I seem to keep selecting. Just do that for now. Maybe throw some kind of glow on it. It might not look bad, to be honest. I mean, this is not the right 2D mouth for him. think I'm inclined to start out with the faces just popping over the top of characters. God's a special case. And then make adjustments from there. In my toolbox, I've got things like I can choose different relative positions for the 2D art based on, I won't say level analysis, I think that's a little too much, but based on like whether the other 2D art is conflicting or not, or intersecting. So like if M just kind of walks her over her head above into the same space that this art is in, it could move their respective parts out of the way. But I suspect if I just give the player freedom to move around, those kinds of things will sort themselves out. Well, okay, so if I've got multiple NPCs talking, then I'll have to level design to make sure their heads aren't in stupid places. But the default can just be the head pops right over the top of you. I can start from there, and I think I've got multiple solutions to alleviate problems that may come later. I don't think I need to deviate from that basic idea. I don't think I'm painting myself into a corner if I find out that it's annoying in some circumstances, because I've got a set of tools I can use to fix those issues. This little design here is not bad, to just put a mouth in the middle of the hands. I can get a different mouth. The hands, by the way, will have their own sets of animations. I did a fair amount of work figuring that out. Try one other thing. Now I can do this kind of easily inside of here. I can do 50%, I could have like this be sort of the default. Because you can figure out what's going on if you've got it mostly translucent like that. Well, that's half translucent. You can figure stuff out like that. That's not actually bad. Let's try 25%. Like that, even more so. This might be good for showing reactions to things other characters say, or as a premonition that she's about ready to talk. So suppose she's about ready to say something. Over the space of maybe a quarter second, she fades in, she says her piece, and then she fades out. I'm pretty sure that'll look good. I'm pretty sure that will look good. That means I'll have to figure out some kind of combined render to a texture and then render one time to the UI layer or the graphics, so that I get rid of that Michael Jackson disease, skin blotches. Okay. So things I've concluded. A scheme where I try really hard to put the head in the best place. It's going to be a lot of work, and it's unlikely to give me good results. Particularly if it relies on pre-processing, because pre-processing won't be able to keep up with all the things happening inside of a level. Translucency is a real nice option that should be useful in different situations. A mouth in the middle of the God hands could look pretty good. I don't want to do anything creative with the subtitles. Okay, I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write those things down. whatever it was. Okay. Subtitles options. This is good. I'm getting a lot of open questions nailed down right here. Yeah, these ones. Don't need 2 lines. Minimum time on screen. I'm not going to try too hard with this. Okay, this is pretty good. I feel like I'm getting some real decision making done here in this session, and it's a good thing, because there were some moments where I felt like it was slipping away and I couldn't see the good outcome. Like I was just going to put some stuff together and be disappointed with the result. That's what it felt like. But now I think I can see it again. Sometimes you think you can see it, but you're overconfident. You're cocksure. You want to be cocksure. Hold on. I gotta look that up. That's such a weird word. Cocksure definition. Am I using that right? Yeah. Just like thinking like how long it would take for someone to take me aside at work if I just sprinkled that throughout all my conversations. It's like, Well, Jeffrey seems really cocksure. They're like, what? Oh, yeah, you know, cocksure. Like, what, is that British or? No, he's like very, very, maybe overconfident. Perhaps arrogantly so. Perhaps presumptuously confident. You know, maybe he's a little too cocksure. And they go, yeah, maybe. And they'd be unsettled and wonder if they need to report something to HR. So yeah, I encourage everyone to use cocksure in their vocabulary as much as possible. And it can be a woman who's cocksure as well. She was cocksure that she was able to do the job. You could say cocky too, but cocksure. I think that what's making me laugh about is like just nobody uses that word anymore. But it's a legitimate word, so it's defensible. It would be so weird to just be just sprinkling cocksure into all these different situations, and it would make people uncomfortable, but it would be on the edge of okay. Sure as a cock will crow at daybreak. Weird word. Everyone agrees. It's been weird for a long time too, not just recently. Okay. So, I might do some more work, but I'm going to do it off stream. So if anyone's lurking, I'll say goodnight to you now. And catch you later. Because I am stopping the stream. I'm going to stopping the stream. I'm cocksure of it. Stopping the stream now.